somewhere in this town. See, me and the boys, we don't like it, so we're getting up and going down. High and low, looking right to left. If you see us coming, I think it's best you move away. Do you hear what I say from under my breath? Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in the town. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak, so won't you be around? Don't you be around. Some of us won't survive. See, the boys and me mean business, busting out dead or alive. I can hear the hound dogs on my trail. All hell breaks loose, alarm and sirens wail. Like the game, if you lose, go to jail. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in the town. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak, so won't you be around? Tonight there's gonna be trouble, I'm gonna find myself in. Tonight there's gonna be trouble, so stay with a friend. You know it's safer. Break out! Tonight there's gonna be a breakout into the city zones. Don't you dare to try and stop us, no one could for long. Searchlight on my trail, tonight's the night all systems fail. Hey you, good looking female, come here. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in the town. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak, so don't you be around. Tonight there's gonna be trouble, I'm gonna find myself in. Tonight there's gonna be trouble, so won't you stay?
Robots are inhuman. Robots are inhuman. Human robots are inhuman. Robots are in. Robots are inhuman. Robots are inhuman. Human robots are in. Human robots are in. Robots are inhuman. Robots are inhuman. Human robots are in. Human robots are in. Robots are inhuman. Robots are inhuman. Human robots are in. Human robots are in.
Reasons to be miserable, give his brain a pain. Very little turns him on. Marvin's his name. He's a robot, that's his lot. Robot full of cares. He'd feel a little better if they broke him up for spares. With everything he has to do, he finds the world condemning. If he had his time again, he'd rather be a lemming. Oh well, he's just a menial robot. They drive him crazy with their Marvin, close the door. Isn't it enough to make you tidy up the floor? Spoils a robot day. Marvin, when you're finished, you can put yourself away. He's going to flip his lid because they treat him like a kid. chaotic, robot mad, robot happy, robot sad. Who's a clever robot man? It's enough to drive you mad. Robots are inhuman. Robots are inhuman. Human robots are in. Human robots are in. He gets no satisfaction. Why do they make him do their work? Rather be a vacuum cleaner sucking up the dirt. That'll be the day. Pat him on the head. Think he would be keener just to rust. Just to rust his life away.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2020, wear face masks. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, face masks would be it. The long-term benefits of face masks have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your face mask. Oh, never mind. You will not understand the power and beauty of your face mask until you don't need it anymore. But trust me, in 20 years, you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how incredibly smart you were to actually wear a face mask. You're not as funny looking as you imagine. Don't worry about the virus, or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to not touch your face or scratch your nose during allergy season. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind, the kind that blindsides you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday, like trying to figure out if it's Tuesday. Read. Don't invade other people's social distancing circle, and don't put up with people who invade yours. Wash your hands. Don't fret over waiting in line. Sometimes you're in front, sometimes you're behind. The line may be long, but in the end, it's for your safety. Remember not to shake hands. Forget touching your face. If you succeed in doing this, let me know how. Spend your stimulus check, but keep your receipts. Bathe. Don't feel guilty if you forget to shower every day. The younger people I know went days completely forgetting to shower. Some of the older folks I know still haven't. Get plenty of vitamin D. Be Be kind to your lungs. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll get sick, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be asymptomatic, maybe you won't. Maybe someone near you coughs and says, it's just allergies. You think, yeah, right. Whatever you do, don't stop yourself from enjoying life. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. Enjoy your face mask. Wear it everywhere you can. Don't be afraid of it or what other people think of it. It's the greatest lifesaver you'll ever own. Walk, even if you have nowhere to do it but your own front yard. Read the news, even if you don't believe it. Be careful what you read on social media. It can make you less social. Get to know your nurses and doctors or anyone that works in healthcare. Thank them. Then be thankful for them. They are literally risking their lives for you. Go out in your front yard and wave to your neighbor, even if you don't know them. Work harder to bridge that gap. Turn off the television. Go ride a bike. Take a hike. Or just go for a walk. Live in New York City once, but probably not this year. Live in Northern California once, but let's push that one back a few years too. Howl. Accept certain inalienable truths. Jobs will come back, you will survive, and so will our Constitution. And when we do, you'll look back and know we did the right thing, the noble thing, and people respected their leaders. Respect your leaders. So to this year's class, we congratulate you. Maybe you walked across the stage, maybe you waved at a camera. Either way, you've accomplished something. Don't spend too much time celebrating though, or by the time you're 40, you'll look like you're 85. And while you savor your achievement, be thankful for those who have helped supply it. So enjoy your success. Know the world acknowledges your accomplishment. Then get out here and get busy making the world a better place. We need you more than you know. But trust me on the face mask.
Oh, fiddlesticks. There we go. So, I just did a really good bit. And you all missed out. And I can't be bothered doing it again. But the short version is... apologies to Facebook watchers that we didn't have an event up for this week. Hopefully you managed to get past that and tune in anyway. And welcome to anyone who is new to the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz, the quiz where sometimes I have my microphone on mute. I think that's probably the motto for 2020, isn't it? Sometimes I have my microphone on mute. It is a lot of ado, isn't it, really? Anyway, good to see that we have some people monitoring us on the interwebs. Anyway, keeping me honest and telling me when my sound is off. I outwitted myself. I suddenly decided I should put my contact lenses in at the last minute. Because when I wear glasses, it makes the eyebrow tracking all weird. And then I used to get this sort of, you see what I mean? It's too much. Alrighty then. If you're new to the quiz, then you should know that there is a picture round that you can download. It is available at bit.ly/Quizcazoatl_pictures. That link is somewhere or in the About section on the YouTube page, and also it is in the Facebook event, which went live about 3.5 minutes ago, and should be on the Facebook page as well, if you like that sort of thing. It is a good idea to download the pictures early so that you can get a little bit of a head start. It can get quite thick and fast once we get going. There is also, for those of you who want to compete with our slightly over-competitive regulars, the opportunity to submit your answers. Quizcazoatl, hang on, bit.ly/Quizcazoatl_answers. If you do choose to give in your answers like that, we'd be very grateful if you could give us an email address. We don't use it to market to you. We don't even use it to try and sell you Quizcazoatl branded coasters. We just use it to get you to mark one of the other teams, because it speeds things up when I am not trying to mark everyone myself. We'll probably have a little bit more quadmin as the evening progresses, but let's get started with today's first question. First question of Quizcazoatl October. Quoktober? No. Question 1. Which brand of beer is famously associated with the year 1664? And that is the year that the brewery in question was founded. Which brand of beer is famously associated with the year 1664? Well, hopefully the first one isn't too difficult, so let's move on to question 2 as well. In 2015, the authorities had to remove nearly 1 million of what item, weighing 45 tons in total, from a bridge in Paris after couples had attached them there as a symbol of love? I preferred this question before they gave that little bit of explanation at the end. I was thinking maybe snails. But no, in 2015, well, maybe it was snails. I don't want to preempt your judgments. In 2015, authorities had to remove nearly 1 million of what item, weighing 45 tons in total, from a bridge in Paris, after couples attached them there as a symbol of love. Now, anyone who's new to the quiz, it is important to know that in the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz, we, unless otherwise stated, give 1 point per answer. That question had one answer, and therefore it was worth 1 point. However, the next question, which is going to be the first of our pictures, will have several answers. That means that it will be worth several points. That is very important. It makes it all the more worthwhile to focus in on those picture questions. As I say, bit.ly/Quizcazoatl_pictures. We also will have during today's quiz the big spot prize showdown from last week. I know you've all been waiting for it. It is the perennial bridesmaid, never the t-shirt bride, Alon, versus titan of the t-shirt tiebreak, Auntie Anne. Auntie Anne's phone was hacked earlier, presumably by Alon, but we have managed to get her activated anyway, so that should all be going ahead later in the first round. We will also at some point go to our t-shirt question for last year's team winners. Sounds a bit hippie to me. Remember, the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz t-shirt is limited edition, not available in the shops. The bit about it being limited edition becomes increasingly undermined as the quiz lasts longer and longer and we print more and more of them. But on the other hand, Jane keeps changing the design, so the original ones really were quite limited. Anyway, enough of that little section of chunter. Let us get the first picture question up. We have got 7, I think, count them, 7 puppets there. Can you name all of these puppety characters? And for no bonus points, tell me who has the biggest nose of those and under what conditions. Okay, from the sublime of puppetry to the ridiculous of dancing horses. Which Olympic discipline within the sport of equestrianism is sometimes referred to as horse ballet? On Westworld, I think, on the telly boxes, the new TV version, if you put the subtitles on, then when a horse makes a noise, it says horse knickers, which are presumably what you wear in horse ballet. Anyway, which Olympic discipline within the sport of equestrianism is sometimes referred to as horse ballet? All right, wannabe ballerinas. Let's also move on to question 5. Anchorage is the largest city in which US state? Anchorage is the largest city in which US state? So do remember, if you would like to hear any question repeated, you can always ask through the YouTube comments. It is also possible to rewind the YouTube video and have probably easier to find it written on the plinth than to find me actually saying it, given how long we go for and that I only talk for a fraction of that time. But you've got options. If you do go back in time, remember to come forward again after us, or else you will be out of sync and your answers won't be in on time. Question 6 takes us to the picture round again, and we have, oh, there we go, everyone's favourite, it's Venn diagrams, this time with a very little bit cut off at the bottom, excitingly. So, what have we got? We have 2 sets of things, a list at the top, a list at the bottom. Something is missing that could go on both of those lists. Can you identify what that missing thing is? We have an example for you on the left. We have maybe planets, maybe Roman gods, depending on how religious you are feeling. At the bottom we have chocolate bars. In the middle we have Mars, bringer of diabetes. 3 points available to fill in 3 question marks. Question 7, back to the plinth, and we are asking, with which 1799 invention is Alessandro Volta credited? What 1799 invention is Alessandro Volta credited with? Sometimes when I have a drink, I go all squat and squibbly. That is face tracking for you. It thinks that my tankard is a face. Let's also move to question 8. What specific type of animal is on the badge worn by the crew members of the Apollo 11 mission? What specific type of animal was at this point really, on the badge worn by the crew members of the Apollo 11 mission? Question 9, yet another picture question. Picture question 3. Here we have some forms of transport. Can you name all of them? We are helping you out a little bit by giving you the number of letters and a couple of letters from the words indicated by the dashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that sixth one looks like an early design for the TARDIS, but I could be wrong. 6 questions, 6 points. I'll also just take a moment to say thank you to whoever made a very generous donation to the fundraiser for the Lewisham Food Bank just before the quiz started. I'll of course be reminding everyone later, but we have had a real whopper, so thank you very much to all concerned. Okay, hopefully you have got those transport modes sorted. On to a little bit more mythology. We heard from Mars vicariously in the middle of the Venn diagrams, but this is Norse mythology, giving his name to a day of the week. In English, who is the Norse god of thunder? Giving his name to a day of the week. In English, who is the Norse god of thunder? Okay, let's go to this week's first spot prize question. So, as I said, if you are interested in the opportunity to get your hands on a limited edition, not available in the shops, Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz t-shirt, or any of the increasingly expansive range of memorabilia that we've been dishing out over the last few months, this is one way to do it. We have an opportunity every week for the winning team, last week's winning team strictly, to get their hands on some stuff, but also we have 2 spot prize questions open to you as individuals. The 2 winners go on to a tie-break showdown. We'll be saying Alon and Auntie Anne in a few questions' time. Anyway, yes, so the point to make is that, of course, whereas the rest of the quiz is a team sport, for the spot prize question, you are allowed to give your answer as an individual. So if you're playing as part of a team, even if, like Amanda, you are new and you are just listening in, you are welcome and encouraged to get your guess in. The nearest guess to the question that I'll give you in a moment will be in for a shout at the T-shirt tiebreak on the 13th of October. So, this week's first spot prize question. We are asking, how many police officers are there in London's Metropolitan Police Service as of September 2020? This is only the proper, real police officers, the people with the truncheons, I guess. Not the staff, not the community support officers, and none of the specials, even if the police have turned the town into a ghost town. Can you tell me how many police officers there are in London's Metropolitan Police as of September 2020? Get your guesses in. You can send them by email, quizcazoatl@gmail.com. You can send them to me on the Facebook page, and if you think you can get my attention any other way, you are welcome to do that as well. I'll be coming back to this round and round about question 17, so if you really want to think about it or look out the window and start counting coppers, you have a little bit of time to do it. Look, you can hear the pings. People are guessing already, and I should mute my phone. Anyway, see what you think. Okay, back to the main business of... Oh dear, wrong question. Back to the main business of the day, which is the real quiz. In which competition, for question 11, we ask, was VAR, or just VAR, first used in competitive English football? A bonus point if you can tell us what calendar year it was in. And I'll give you a clue, a bonus point is exactly the same as a normal point. Okay, let's also get on to question 12, which of course takes us back to the pictures. Where am I with my pictures? We have got 5 films to identify now. 5 page turners. You can work out for yourselves what page turner might mean. Can you name them from the stills? Okay, everybody. As you will all no doubt remember, long time t-shirt wanter Alon last week managed to get herself in on, oh hang on, I've lost my button, there we are, managed to get herself into the t-shirt tiebreak. This is very exciting. She is taking on tyrant of the t-shirts, Auntie Anne. So let us go to them and see whether the Midway Kings' control can be wrested away from them. We have, oh look, we got Alon there. Alon looking, if anything, slightly larger than I expected her to, because she's in the wrong box. Let's put her in a better box. Hello, Alon and Auntie Anne. How are you doing?
Hello.
You are, oh, there we are. That'll be better. Sorry, so say that again. How are you doing?
Good. Good.
Excellent. Now, I'm afraid there may be a little echo for everyone listening because I've got things set up in a weird way. Apologies if that is annoying. We won't be doing this too long. Now, you both know how the system works by now. I am going to give you... I'm going to give you 3 events from history, and I'm going to challenge you to tell me in which year all of this happened. And before I do any of that, I am going to remind myself what the year was, or else it'll be harder for me to assess you. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so if you think you know the answer, just buzz in and tell me what you think. Whoever goes first, I will give you plus or minus, let's say on this one, plus or minus 5 years either way. Whoever guesses second, you get plus or minus 2 years. So first event, Italy beat Czechoslovakia 2-1 after extra time to win that year's FIFA World Cup final. Italy beat Czechoslovakia 2-1. Could have been any time, couldn't it? Question 2. Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini met for the very first time. What an auspicious moment that one was. And finally, on the subject of famous fascists, actress Judi Dench was born. So we have, she, of course not, that would be dreadful. Italy beat Czechoslovakia 2-1 to win the FIFA World Cup final. Hitler and Mussolini met for the first time. Judi Dench was born?
1940.
Auntie Anne says 1940. That's the first guess. You get 5 years either way. You have, I'm afraid, Anne, missed the range this week, which means, Alon, the world looks to you. Plus or minus 2 years to break your duck.
1935.
Alon said 1935. I am afraid, Alon, the correct answer was 1934. That means you are 1 year away. That means you've done it. You're there. You are history.
Yeah. Well done. I nearly said 1936 and then changed my mind with the Judi Dench one.
You was robbed. She's a national treasure. Anyway, thank you very much for playing. Good luck with the quiz today, and of course with the spot prizes coming up in a bit. And for everyone else, I will get us back to the main event. Ta-ra!
Bye.
Well, now we're going to have to come up with something else for Alon not to win in order to maintain interest in the thing. For those of you who were not invested, we can also get on to question 13. Question 13. What N is the legal act or process by which a non-citizen of a country acquires nationality of that country? What N is the legal act or process by which a non-citizen of a country acquires nationality of that country? Okay, and I will also push us on to question 14. That is question, picture 5, it's on to the predictive text. We have a new predictive text word. We are now looking for types of security. Can you mash your 90s phones with your dialing wand and tell me what word could come before security using the predictive text numbers in A and B? 2 points available. Okay, let's also get question 15 on the table. On a standard tournament dartboard, what colour is the outer ring of the bullseye? If you get this one right, you are going to be in for a chance to win a caravan and a motorboat. On a standard tournament dartboard, what colour is the outer ring of the bullseye? That's question 15, which means we're nearly at question 17. So if you would like to guess the number of police officers in the London Met Police, get that guess in now. I will be announcing the winner fairly shortly. That should have been a tolerably quick one, unless you didn't know, in which case you may never get it. So let's do 16 as well. What is the only Shakespeare play with a type of animal in the title as a standalone word? What is the only Shakespeare play with a type of animal in the title as a standalone word? Question 17 takes us back to the pictures again. Picture 6, we have some logos. Can you work out the companies, brands, or similar, that go with each of these 4 logos? Okay, time to announce the t-shirt tiebreak winner for the day. Well, Alon, you've got one, and your guess for this wasn't too far off either, really. But you were not closest. We had a couple of people who thought there were less than 10,000 coppers in the Met. It is more than that. A couple of people who thought it was coming up to 100,000 coppers. Well, it is less than that. The correct answer, 32,766. The nearest guess on that one was Tim, a perennial contender, proud owner of one of the even more limited edition, even less available in the shop, Quizcazoatl clocks. You are going to be in next week's t-shirt tiebreak, unless, of course, you think that you did a better guess than Tim did and I've missed you, in which case let me know and I can reverse ferret. Takes us to question 18, and one of my favourite topics, of course, the Russian Revolution. What B was the revolutionary Marxist faction that took power during the October Revolution in 1917? And what B was the revolutionary Marxist faction that took power during the October Revolution in 1917? Let's also put question 19 on the board. It's our last picture for round 1. Picture 7, we have 3 likely looking characters. Can you give each of their names? And for a single bonus mark, because I can't be bothered doing the 2 for exact bit, tell us the year they were born. We will give you plus or minus 1 in either direction. 3 names and a year of their birth. 4 points available. Lest there was any doubt, the cartoon character on the left is not someone you have to name. And the final question of round 1 of this week's Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz. Question 20. What S is the longest and the widest single nerve found in the human body? Or what S is the longest and widest single nerve in the human body? That means we are closing in on the end of round 1, which of course means we're closing in on the beginning of round 2. Consult, check you've filled everything in, look at any last pictures. If you would like something repeated, now is the time to ask. Otherwise, as ever, or as normal, I will give you a 5-minute break to get yourselves in order, get a drink, all of that with a countdown, and we will be back with the music round when the countdown finishes. Okay, I hope you have been enjoying our new and exciting Quizcazoatl psychedelic sort of, what would one even call that? Whatever that is. Jolly clever. Jolly clever it is indeed. Thank you for Jane in the Quizcazoatl Temple, who of course organised all of this for me. Round 2 means, first off, if you haven't submitted yet on your round 1 answers, you must submit now. Don't forget to use the same quiz team name for all of your sheets. Click submit and then follow the links through. It'll give you a second answer sheet for the music round. In the music round, we are going to travel through the history of song. We will have a song from the 60s, one from the 70s, one from the 80s, one from the 90s, one from the noughties, and one from Her Majesty's tenties. You have got to identify for each of these songs who the performing artist is and what the song is called. Simple. There are 2 points available per question. I will play you those songs once. And then I'll give you a minute to think about it and discuss, and then I will play them again.
Number 1.
Well, I had a Russian ballet teacher, and she was vile, darling.
Due to a technical oversight, either that was a very boring song, or I've just accidentally started the mystery voices instead of the music round. So let's try that one more time.
Why don't you all fade away? What am I gonna do to make you love me? What have I gotta do to make you care? What do I do when lightning strikes me? And awake to find that you're not there. It's sad, so sad. Oh, it's a sad, sad situation. I pictured a rainbow. You held it in your hands. I had flashes. You saw the plan. I wandered out in the world for years, while you just stayed in your room.
But I tried to tell you so. Yes, I did. But I guess you didn't know. As I said, the story goes. Baby, now I got the flow. You lied to me. All those times I said that I love you. You lied to me. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you knew I'd die for you.
You say crank the bass, I gotta get some more. Water's running in the wrong direction. Got a feeling it's a mixed up sign. I can see it in my own reflection. Something funny's going on inside. I don't know what, it's pushing me higher. It's a static from the floor below. And then it drops and catches like fire. She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants a life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there.
Okay, a couple of absolutely storming ones early doors, then a lot of dross. That's the development of music for you. But at least Stairway to Heaven wasn't plagiarised. I think that's what we can all take away from today. Anyway, let's hear those songs one more time. And if you gave your email address in to do some marking, then please, some point during this playthrough, have a look. You should be getting your marking link, and we'll go straight to the round one marking after the end of the music round.
Why don't you all fade away? What am I gonna do to make you love me? What am I gonna do to make you care? What do I do when lightning strikes me? And awake to find that you're not there. It's sad, so sad. It's a sad, sad situation. I pictured a rainbow. You held it in your hands. I had flashes. You saw the plan. I wandered out in the world for years, while you just stayed in your room.
Well, I tried to tell you so, yes I did, but I guess you didn't know. As they said, the story goes, baby, now I got the flow. You lied to me. All those times I said that I loved you, you lied to me. Yes, I tried, yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you knew I'd die for you.
You're saying crank the bass, I gotta get some more. Water's running in the wrong direction. Got a feeling it's a mixed up sign. I can see it in my own reflection. Something funny's going on inside. Don't know what is pushing me higher. It's a static from the floor below, and then it drops and catches like fire. She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants a life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there.
Okay, time to finalise those music round answers. Although, strictly speaking, you could keep going while your teammate does the marking. Now, all of the marking links should be out, so please, if you are the designated marker, go to your email, open the marking link. Hopefully you get a marking sheet which is populated, and let's go through round 1. First off, we asked which brand of beer is associated with the year 1664. The answer to that, of course, as I am sure you all knew, Kronenbourg. Kronenbourg for the point. And question 2. In 2015, authorities in Paris had to remove a million something or other that weighed 45 tons in total, placed there as a symbol of love. That was padlocks. Padlocks. Imagine how long it would take to get into that garden shed. Padlocks for a point. Question 3. We had us some puppet pictures. Can you or did you identify the following? We had, first off, of course, your friend and mine. It was Yoda. Yoda it was. Then the great Gonzo. Gonzo alone would be fine. Then the second longest nose on that series of individuals, unless, of course, he's been fibbing. It is Pinocchio. Fourth, we had Elmo. Elmo for the point, not to be confused with Grover. Then we had Sooty, silent but strong and probably violent. Lady Penelope, and there is no bonus point for Cretan Ward, but apparently that is her surname. And finally, completing our rainbow of puppets, it is Zippy. 7 points available: Yoda, Gonzo, Pinocchio, Elmo, Sooty, Penelope, Zippy. Remember, of course, there is no bonus point for getting the order right in the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz, so please do be generous if people have put answers down in an order that seems surprising to you. Question 4, which Olympic discipline within equestrianism is sometimes referred to as horse ballet? That is dressage. Dressage for the point there. Then, Anchorage is the largest city in the United State of Alaska. I think we had Alaska for an answer last week as well, didn't we? Clearly, climate change hasn't got to the guys who set the quiz yet. They are feeling cold. Question 6, we had missing items in the Venn diagrams. First off, we had commotions meet ball hitting equipment with racket for the point. Then we had my brother's favourite. It was peacocks, birds from the order Galliformes meets clothes retailers. Finally, we have Persil, and that was where washing detergent meets French names for common herbs. Persil is French for parsley. Who knew that? Question 7. What did Alessandro Volta invent? That was the electric battery. If you were feeling clever and you put the the voltaic pile, that would get the point as well. If you put direct current, I am not accepting that, I'm afraid. Question 8. What type of animal is on the badge worn by members of the Apollo? Oh my God, look at my eyebrows. It's not good. Don't know quite it's got quite that bad. I took my glasses off for this and it hasn't helped at all. No, there we are, slightly better. Fierce eyebrows. Maybe if I do that for this. I see. I've distracted myself with eyebrows. What specific type of animal is on the badge of the Apollo 11 mission? That was the eagle. Bald eagle to be specific, but eagle will do. Question 9, we had some types of transport to identify. Where were we? So we had 6, and they were a gondola, a hoverboard, a tuk-tuk, a maglev, and still the next best thing, or maybe not. Okay, bonus morale point for anyone who can tell me why maglevs still haven't taken off, no pun intended. Then the trolley bus, and finally we have a litter. Please do not leave it lying around in the street. giving his name to a day of the week, and a Marvel action movie. Who is the Norse god of thunder? That was, of course, Thor. I do see that somebody put Thursday. I think we can assume they knew what they meant to write, but got a little confused. So I would be happy if you gave them a full point. I guess maybe if you're feeling mean, you'll give them half a point for Thursday, but it's got to be worth at least half a point. In which competition was VAR used first in competitive English football? That was the FA Cup, and it was 2018. 2018 was the answer. We had a couple of people went for League Cup, and someone just wrote Ponzi soccer question, for which I, for one, would give half a point. But 2 points available if you had FA Cup and 2018. Question 12. We had 5 films, and they were The Princess Bride, Trumbo, presumably about an elephant with a trunk so big he could flap it and fly, You've Got Mail, Shakespeare in Love, and Stranger Than Fiction. 5 points available for The Princess Bride, Trumbo, You've Got Mail, Shakespeare in Love, and Stranger Than Fiction. Question 13, the N-word that refers to the process to make a non-citizen of a country a national, that is naturalisation. I think everybody got that. Well done. You are now all citizens on the sinking ship Britannia, except, I guess, the Britless expats, who are citizens of something and much the better for it. 2 predictive texts. Question 14, they went with security. They were first off cyber, and secondly, national. 2 points, cyber and national. What colour is the outer ring of the bullseye? And that one. And you get your Quizcazoatl tanker. That's yours. You get to take that home with you if you got this right. And it was green. Well done. I hope they don't all get lost in the post. The Shakespeare play with an animal in it was The Taming of the Shrew. Taming of the Shrew for a point. Question 17, we had 4 logos. They were, looks like everyone got these as well. It's going to be tight this week. DreamWorks, Foot Locker, Pampers, and TDK. What B were the revolutionary Marxist faction that took power in 1917 in the October Revolution? That was the Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks for a point. Also known at the time in English as the Bolshevists. There you go. Question 19. Name 3 people and the year they were born. There is Ghostbuster, Ray Parker Jr. Ray Charles Jr., I'm afraid that is a nice try, but no cigar. And then, of course, we have Angela Merkel. And finally, we have Ron Howard. And they were born in 1954, so a point available from 53 through to 55. Most of you got that. Someone put 52. I'm afraid that you missed the window. Finally, what S is the longest nerve and the widest in the human body? That is the sciatic. The sciatic nerve for a point. Well played, everyone. That looked like a pretty strong showing from all the teams we got. A slightly reduced compliment today, possibly relating to the fact I didn't actually post it as a Facebook event, but we still have 6 of you competing, and we're glad to have you. If you haven't clicked submit on your music round yet, you absolutely must do so now, because I am taking us straight to the start of round 2. So, round 2, first question. It's an anagram, and it is Do Cinema Link. It's a famous woman. Do Cinema Link, a famous woman. Question 2 of round 2. We have got what G from the Latin for frozen or stiff is made of animal bones, ligaments and skin and is used as a thickening agent in food. What G from the Latin for frozen or stiff is made from animal bones, ligaments and skin, nom 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 nom, and is used as a thickening agent in food. Question 3, we are back to the pictures and we have got 4 musical films to name based only on the initials. Can you work them out? 4 films there, and presumably that young lady doing jazz hands is a clue. Top 100 musical films according to the IMDb. And while you think about those, I can give you a scores update after the first round. We have only 3 points in it. This is as close, I think, as we've ever been after one round. The Midway Kings, I'm afraid, you are propping up the table, but everything to play for. You can make those 3 back on 40. Lockdown Haircuts, 40.5. Grouped in the middle on 41, we had the Proud Middling Expats and the World Health Organization. And that means that top of the table we have, sounds a bit hippie to me, last week's winners, and the Footlins. I know the Footlins care about the quiz so much that one of them booked themselves in for a hospital stay Wednesday to Monday so that they wouldn't miss any quizzes. Pretty sure that was why those dates were chosen. So, good to see you out ahead, but everyone is on your tail. And question 4. The masks used by the protest group Anonymous are based on the design of a Guy Fawkes mask which featured in what film? The masks used by Anonymous are based on the Guy Fawkes mask which featured in what film? question 5. And after question 5, let's go back and mark the music round. But first off, on what type of device would you find a tone arm? On what type of device would you find a tone arm? Okay, everyone who is doing the marking, go back to your marking sheets. The music round ought to have updated a little while ago, so we can go over those music answers. First off, we had The Who. In their moment, they were railing against all of the oldies. Now they are the OK Boomers. It's The Who with My Generation, 2 points there. On to question 2, we had Elton John, and sorry seems to be the hardest word. Sorry seems to be the hardest word, Elton John. Question 3, 80s song, I should say. We had an absolute classic, this. We had the Waterboys from all the way back in 1985. Can you believe that? That was The Whole of the Moon. The Whole of the Moon. Someone put You Saw the Whole of the Moon. I think that's probably a half point, but in fact, it looks like that's the Proud Middling Expats, and I know for a fact at least one of them is Irish, so they're definitely only having a half point for getting the Waterboys wrong. 90s song. We had Mark Morrison. It was Return of the Mac. Presumably because it was raining again. I never quite worked it out, but Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison for 2 points. Into the 2000s, we had Girls Aloud, and they were singing The Sound of the Underground. Girls Aloud, Sound of the Underground there. And then finally, into the 2010s, our song was Rockabye. Rockabye. Someone put Rockabye Baby. I don't believe that is quite right. So I guess that's the Middling Expats again. I feel bad. Well, maybe you could be generous to them on this one. Or give them a half point if you're a cruel, cruel taskmaster. And the artist was Clean Bandit, featuring Anne-Marie and Sean Paul. Now, I see that we have a couple of variations here. And I have no idea, as you can well imagine, who any of these people are. So let's see, the team that put Clean Bandit, I think let's give them 2/3 of a point. That's 0.67. One team just put Sean Paul. Now, allegedly, he's only featured, so let's give him only 1/3 of a point, 0.33. And the teams that got the full shebang, Clean Bandit, Anna-Marie, and Sean Paul, all get a point each. I'm afraid there is no point in Camilla Cabello. Yes, hopefully I think I probably answered this by the time you'd asked it, Eric, but Sean Paul, I think 1/3 of a point, as he is only featured. So that was the music round. Looks like there wasn't much clear water between any of you there either, but I'll be back with another scores update in a bit, and we can go to picture 9. Ooh. Picture 9. Oh, well, this is jolly interesting, isn't it? We've got a new round here, and we have got 6 microstates to identify. Can you work out what these tiny countries are? Okay, on to question 7. In miles and to the nearest 1,000, so to the nearest 1,000 miles, could have said, what is the circumference of the Earth at the equator? That's not easy, is it? In miles to the nearest 1,000, what is the circumference of the Earth at the equator? If you are a flat earther and find this question disrespectful, please instead give us a short essay entitled Even the Greeks Knew the World Was Round in 500 BC. Question 8. Ooh, it's the mystery voices that we started on earlier. If the music was the voices, are the voices going to be the music? A lesser quiz host would have thought to check this before this moment. I am no one's lesser quiz host. Here we go.
Number 1.
A Marine we can use. I'm assigning him to your team as security escort.
The last thing I need is another trigger-happy moron out there.
Look, you're supposed to be winning the hearts and the minds of the natives. Isn't that the whole point of your little puppet show? You look like them and you talk like them and they'll start trusting us. This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo.
Number 2.
Underneath it's a hyperalloy combat chassis, but outside it's living human tissue. Flesh, skin, hair, blood grown for the cyborgs. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Number 3.
Athlete! 3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line. Stay with me. If you find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
All right, now, it has been pointed out that those were the film clips instead of the mystery voices. Now, this is the wrong way round. However, I'm just going to stick it out there. Seeing as we've just done the film clips, let's just do the film clips as question 8, and then we'll do the voices when we come to them at question 14, I think. So, if you were feeling so smug to notice my crass mistake that you then ignored the film clips, well, you've learnt your lesson now, haven't you? Anyway, I'll give you a moment. If you can still remember any of what just happened to talk about the film clips, then I will give you those one more time.
Number 1.
Slightly ironically, I almost then played you the voices, and let a little Little glimpse behind the curtain as I put my Explorer window up in front of little Chris. There we are, professional to the last. Here are those film clips for question 8. One more time.
Number 1.
God damn, will you put on some pants?
Phil, do not go in the bathroom.
Al, just calm down. Sweet.
Phil, there is a tiger in the...
That's different films, isn't it? Jesus Christ, what went wrong with this week? I've had an absolute horror show. Although, actually, well, it makes perfect sense, really. It's what we used to call a carry-through error, I think, when I was at school. So, let's have this week's film clips one more time.
Number 1.
A Marine we can use. I'm assigning him to your team as security escort.
The last thing I need is another trigger-happy moron out there.
Look, you're supposed to be winning the hearts and the minds of the natives. Isn't that the whole point of your little puppet show? You look like them and you talk like them and they'll start trusting us. This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo.
Number 2.
Underneath, it's a hyperalloy combat chassis, but outside, it's living human tissue. Flesh, skin, hair, blood, grown for the cyborgs. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity, or remorse, or fear, and it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Number 3.
Athlete! 3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line! Stay with me! If you find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
Okay, I can give you a quick scores update. Having said it was unprecedentedly close at the end of round 1, I can tell you we're even closer at the end of round 2. There is barely a whisker between you. Still propping up at the back, but only 2 1/3 points off the pace now. The Midway Kings on 50 2/3. Then the Lockdown Haircuts, they're on 51.8. The Proud Middling Expats on 52.5, a mere half point off of our 3 joint leaders, the Footlins, sounds a bit hippie to me, and the World Health Organization. Everything to play for. And play for it you will when you try to get the answer to question 9. Which 3 chemical elements form many compounds, including glucose and cholesterol? 1 mark for each element. Which 3 chemical elements form compounds, including glucose and cholesterol? And let's keep moving. Question 10 takes us back to the pictures. And we have got 4 odd ones out for you to identify. Can you find the cuckoos in these 4 nests? Okay, well, most of you think about that. The good people of Sounds a Bit Hippie to me, who have been doing pretty well recently, frankly, get another chance at some limited edition Quizcazoatl memorabilia if they can answer their t-shirt question as last week's winners. And this one is just for them. Everyone else, ignore it. Get it in your head and feel pleased about it. Don't send your answers to me. I don't want them, I don't need them, and I will not respond to them. Anyway, it has been reported that we can expect 5 named storms to hit the UK this autumn. The first one, I believe, was called Aidan, but can you name one of the other 4? You have 30 seconds. I've got to hurry you there. Well, sounds a bit hippie to me. Stumped, I think, unless I get an answer in very smartly. I am going to assume that they simply do not know. Okay, they're typing. The name is apparent. No, they've stopped typing again. All right. No, I'm getting nothing. So I can tell you, of course, the system for naming storms is alphabetical. If Aidan was this year's A, then this. Oh, here we go. Are they just about? It's too slow. So very slow. Rick Vivian. Well, it's loosely speaking, I guess. You should have at the very least been looking at the right end of the alphabet. If Aidan is the first, we have a B, C, D and E to follow, and they are due to be called Bella, Christoph, Darcy and Evert. Bad luck sounds a bit hippie to me, and better luck next time. You are in it to win it, so maybe you'll be back same time, same place next week. For everyone else, let us also push back to the real questions. Or even better, let's keep on the t-shirt focus and give you a spot prize question for this half. In centimetres, for those of you who are grumbling about the imperial units on the circumference of the Earth, this will be a welcome return to French revolutionary standards. In centimetres, according to Parliament's very own website, how long are the minute hands? This is the minute hands, not the tiny, minute hands. I don't want anyone telling me a story about how there's these really minute hands on the clock face. I'm not interested. How long are the minute hands on the famous Houses of Parliament clock faces? That is the spot prize question, so everyone is welcome to enter individually. Email me, Facebook message me, quizcazoatl@gmail.com, or facebook.com/quizcazoatl, or send me your answer any other way you fancy. I'll come back to it round about question 17. Okay. Get those answers in. How long in centimetres are the minute hands on the Houses of Parliament clock faces? While you think about that, anyone who doesn't care for such things can think about question 11. Valletta is the capital of which island country? Valletta is the capital of which island country? Already getting some very solid guesses on those minute hands. The Donald Trump of clock faces, of course. While you all continue thinking about that, we can go to picture 11. We have got 6 red letter words for you. Can you... What's going on here? Who's this down in the middle in the centre? If I'm not very much mistaken, that's some prick who thinks they can read out the Quizcazoatl publess pub quiz questions better than I can. Monster. Anyway, I've distracted myself. 6 red letter words to identify from our 6 pictures. Okay, question 13. In which sport did the Brownlee brothers win Olympic medals in 2012? In which sport did the Brownlee brothers win Olympic medals in our very own London town? Can you imagine lots of people getting together and meeting and being close? How irresponsible that whole episode was in hindsight. Anyway, Brownlee brothers, Olympic medal, 2012. Okay, question 14 takes us to our audio, and it's not film clips. Which idiot wrote this? Everyone knows question 14 is mystery voices. Here are three voices. Listen to what they say and how they say it. Try and work out who they are. I'll play it once, I'll give you a little time, and then I'll play it again.
Number 1.
Well, I had a Russian ballet teacher, and she was vile, darling, and that came with a cane as well. I have to thank the wonderful British public, I've got to say, for actually naming me Mr. Nasty, and to the press and everyone else. And actually, I'm treated rather well on the street.
Number 2.
I was asked one day by my record company, would I grow my hair long and wear short skirts because they wanted to sell me on my sexuality. And I was like, I didn't want to be sold on that. And that's why I chopped my hair off. I didn't want to be pretty. I wanted, if I was going to be successful, I wanted to be because I was a good musician.
Number 3.
Inevitably, if you have convictions, you'll draw criticism. But if you want to get things done, you need people with convictions. Obviously, I can't comment on any position, which is not yet official, but certainly it's in Britain's interest and it's in Australia's interests that this particular free trade deal be done as quickly as possible.
To be fair, you're hardly going to get an Australian criticising people with convictions now, are you? Anyway, let's have those voices one more time.
Number 1.
Well, I had a Russian ballet teacher, and she was vile, darling, and that came with a cane as well. I have to thank the wonderful British public, I've got to say, for actually naming me Mr. Nasty, and to the press and everyone else. And actually, I'm treated rather well on the street.
Number 2.
I was asked one day by my record company, would I grow my hair long and wear short skirts because they wanted to sell me on my sexuality. And I was like, I didn't want to be sold on that. And that's why I chopped my hair off. I didn't want to be pretty. I wanted, if I was going to be successful, I wanted to be because I was a good musician.
Number 3.
Inevitably, if you have convictions, you'll draw criticism. But if you want to get things done, you need people with convictions. Obviously, I can't comment on any position, which is not yet official, but certainly it's in Britain's interest and it's in Australia's interests that this particular free trade deal be done as quickly as possible.
Okay, let's get moving on to question 15. Oh, we're back to the pictures. Of course we are. Picture 12, we have, emoji people. This is a new one to me. You have got to try and work out what these emojis, or who these emojis are naming. 6 people, 6 sets of emojis, 6 points available. I just seem to be running a little slowly this week for reasons that aren't totally clear to me. So I'm going to push through. I'm assuming that you're all a little ahead on the pictures. Hopefully you are. And I'm going to give you question 16-2. On which remote Pacific island did mutineer Fletcher Christian finally settle? He is believed to have died there in 1793. On which remote Pacific island did mutineer Fletcher Christian finally settle? He is believed to have died there in 1793. Now, of course, being question 16, that is your last chance to get your spot prize guesses in. The length in centimetres of the minute hand on the clock face of the Houses of Parliament clock. On to picture 13 for question 17. We have got some English towns with missing vowels. English towns with missing vowels. Can you work them out? I think one of them is on the train line from my house. And I don't see any last minute entries winging their way in. So I can tell you that the minute hand on the Houses of Parliament clock face are 420 centimetres long. Rather precise, isn't it, for something which you would have thought was designed in inches back in the day. And maybe they were imported. Anyway, before Brexit we could import things. That means that pretty much everyone who took a guess on this one was very much in the right space. Auntie Anne, 395 centimetres. You were pipped by Auntie Jean, 400 centimetres, but I'm afraid you were both pipped by your arch nemesis Blinky. Blinky, you've been on the tiebreak before. You're on it again. This might, however, be the first time that we have had two contestants from the same team facing down on the tiebreak. It is the all WHO battle. Tune in next week to see whether Tim or Blinky can hold the day. In the meantime, question 18 is a-coming. And we ask, which cardinal was Henry VIII's right-hand man, but eventually was stripped of all his powers, including his laser vision, and died in 1530? Which cardinal was Henry VIII's right-hand man, but eventually was stripped of all powers and died in 1530? Yes, I've been reminded that the Midway Kings pipped WHO by some months, frankly, to that particular prize. We did have an Anne versus Tony head-to-head a while ago, so Tim and Blinky, your confrontation is going to be deeply unremarkable. I for one, I don't think I'm going to bother watching next week because it's so dull. But maybe we could spice it up with another picture question. Question 19, the last picture for this week's Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz. We have got, I think not to scale, except as a sort of an action item, 5 mountains. Can you name them? The number of dashes is going to be indicative of the number of letters. Okay, and I am going to give you your last question for round 2 as well. Question 20. The artist George Stubbs, born in 1724, is best known for his paintings of what specific subject, including in his famous work Whistle Jacket. The artist George Stubbs, born 1724, is best known for his paintings of what specific subject, including in his famous work Whistle Jacket. And that is the end of round 2. I am going to put up a 3-minute countdown as ever. Now is the time to ask if you would like to have anything repeated before we move on to the wipeout round. Okay, if you haven't done so yet, now is the last chance to click onwards from round 2 and into the Wipeout round answering. In the Wipeout round, as you all know, we have 6 questions. The last letter of each answer is the first letter of the next answer. You get 2 bonus points if you get all 6 right, but if you get a single question wrong, you lose your Wipeout marks. High risk stuff in such a close quiz. So, let's get on with it. Wipeout question 1. Except I'm on the wrong button. There we are. Wipeout question 1. What former Soviet state is the world's largest landlocked country by area? What former Soviet state is the world's largest landlocked country by area? Wipeout question 2. Which Japanese city was the main host of the 1998 Winter Olympics? Which Japanese city was the main host of the 98 Winter Olympics? Wipeout 3. Who was found guilty of culpable homicide back in 2014 for the killing of Reeva Steenkamp? Who was found guilty of culpable homicide for the killing of Reeva Steenkamp back in 2014? Wipeout question 4. Websites ending in .ch or .ch if you prefer are from which country? Websites ending in .ch are from which country? Wipeout question 5. On September the 24th, who beat Jennifer Aniston's record for the fastest time to reach 1 million followers on Instagram? On September the 24th, who beat Jennifer Aniston's record for the fastest time to reach 1 million followers on Instagram? And the last question of today's quiz, Wipeout question 6. What is the term for an organism that has both male and female reproductive organs? What is the term for an organism that has both female and male reproductive organs? We do mean on its body, not just in its collection. So I will give you another 3-minute countdown to finalise your Wipeout answers. Make any final requests for clarity or repetition. Then I am going to give you a little bit, hopefully, of the Baz Jones Beatles medley that we were promised a little while ago but didn't get. And then when all the answers are in, we will go to the scoring. So here we go. 3 minutes to get your answers finalised. We have had a request for a repeat on Wipeout 1. Wipeout question 1 was: what former Soviet state is the world's largest landlocked country by area? What former Soviet state is the world's largest landlocked country by area? Okay, get those answers in. I will be back to mark them just as soon as they've come through.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? Help me, help me. Ooh. Try to see it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can't go on? While you see it your way, run the risk of knowing that our love may soon be gone. We can work it out, we can work it out. Life is very short and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. Try to see it my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. While you see it your way, there's a chance that we might fall apart before too long. We can work it out, we can work it out. Paperback writer. Dear sir or madam, will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? It's based on a novel by a man named Lear, and I need a job, so I wanna be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. It's a dirty.
Okay, we have our answers in, so I am rudely interrupting Baz. And I'll put my guitar down, it's a bit heavy. And let's go through the round 2 answers. Just check that they're populated. Oh no, we might just need a minute longer, having interrupted ourselves. Poor form indeed. Okay, are they coming through now? Is it just this one? Let's have a look. Okay, looks like we are cooking on gas. So, question 1 of round 2. We asked, do Cinema Link. It was a famous woman. It was a Cinema Link indeed for Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman for a point. Think everyone got it. On to our Jeter for a material made from animal bones, ligaments and skin used as a thickening agent. That is, of course, gelatin. Gelatin, the vegan's enemy if the vegan likes jelly beans. Question 3, we had some musical films. They were, firstly, The Wizard of Oz, then on to The Moulin Rouge, then 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and finally The Hunchback of Notre Dame. 4 points for The Wizard of Oz, Moulin Rouge, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Question 4, where did the anonymous Guy Fawkes mask come from? That was from the film V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta. I think everybody got it. Question 5. Someone went wrong here. We asked on what type of device would you find a tone arm. It's not in your inkjet printer. It is on your record player or turntable if you prefer. A point for a record player. Question 6, we had 6 tiny little countries. Aren't they adorable? Don't you just want to take them home? And they were Liechtenstein, Singapore, the Vatican City, Andorra, Monaco, and San Marino. 6 points for Liechtenstein, Singapore, Vatican City, Andorra, Monaco, and San Marino. Question 7. We have a couple of points lost on this one. In miles, with apologies to our metric martyrs in the audience, in miles and to the nearest 1,000, what is the circumference of the Earth at the equator? That was 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles. If you got 24,000, I'm afraid no dice. The more exact value was... Oh, I've lost it now. The more exact value was 24,901. Question 8. The mystery voices that were really film clips. We heard from the Unobtainium is a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? That was Avatar. Then we had the Terminator. And finally, the time that the Roman Empire returned to being a republic. The most aptly named emperor, Commodus, got his comeuppance. It was Gladiator. 3 points for Avatar, the Terminator, and Gladiator. Now, I see some people have put Terminator 2. Now, I am pretty sure that was Terminator 1. And as I recall, Terminator 2 is all about a Terminator made of liquid metal. So that clip doesn't really work for Terminator 2. So I will accept or consider complaints, but I don't think I want to give... I guess I should give half a point for Terminator 2, because you're in the right ballpark, aren't you? So, all right, half a point for Terminator 2. Question 9. We had 3 chemical elements. They make a variety of compounds, including glucose and cholesterol. They are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. 1 point for each. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Question 10 took us to picture 10. 4 odd ones out. They were a cherry lipstick. That should have been a cherry chapstick. I don't actually recall what these sets of odd ones out were. I Kissed a Girl, Taste of Cherry Chapstick. There you have it. So yes, so no cherry lipstick. Then, now I've lost my place. Then chocolate biscuit. Not eaten by the hungry caterpillar, and correctly not. Then Imran Khan. There has not been cricket at the Olympics. Well, he has been cricketing. And finally, the Cadbury Whisper. It was misspelt there. There is no H in Cadbury Whisper. So 4 points for cherry lipstick, chocolate biscuit, Imran Khan, and Cadbury Whisper. Question 11. Valletta is the capital of which island nation? That is my favourite holiday destination, because you can get a proper cup of tea and a pint of bitter and it's sunny. And I'm an Englishman through and through. It was Malta. Malta for a point. Question 12. Words represented by red letters in picture 11. We had from cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Resuscitation was the word. America, as in America Online. Artificial, as in artificial intelligence. Recognition, as in automatic number plate recognition. Standard, as in standard definition television. That's a little obscure, isn't it? Did you all get that? An impressively large number of you got standard. There we go. And finally, we had advisory, as in scientific advisory group for emergencies. 6 points available for resuscitation, America, artificial, recognition, standard, and advisory. I do see, somewhat disappointingly, given how well they were doing and how even it was, that the Footlins have got their answers mixed up for questions What do we have? Questions. Oh, I don't even know which ones now. Anyway, they got some answers mixed up. I would encourage whoever is marking the footlints to give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. It would be very harsh for them to lose 8 points on a simple data entry error. Although, I should say the reason we only have 6 teams competing this week is that I actually lost the spreadsheet entries for the other 15,000 teams, having again got to the maximum spreadsheet size that I can support. So there you go. To the matter at hand, we had... yes, in which sport did the Brownlee brothers win Olympic medals in 2012? And that was the triathlon. Most of you, but not all of you, got that. Question 14, we had some mystery voices. They were, firstly, Craig Revel Horwood, never heard of him, Sinead O'Connor, and finally, a former Australian Prime Minister and a trade representative, putative trade representative, I think, still, to the United Kingdom, Tony Abbott. 3 points for Craig Revel Horwood, Sinead O'Connor, and Tony Abbott. Question 15, we had some emoji people. Firstly, Wayne Rooney, then on to Rose Byrne, then Mike Tyson, Kevin Bacon, Elton John, Holly Wibberley. Holly Wibberley would be a much better name for her, wouldn't it? I should say. I think looks like everyone got pretty much all of those, but it was, for the points, Wayne Rooney, Rose Byrne, Mike Tyson, Kevin Bacon, Elton John, Holly Wibberley. If they spelt Wibberley Willoughby, still give them the point. Question 16, on which remote island did mutineer Fletcher Christian finally settle? That was Pitcairn Island. Pitcairn Island. There are a couple of people lost points there. Name 4 English towns. For question 17 in picture 13, based only on the consonants, they were Evesham, Aldershot, Ilfracombe, and Orpington. Think you all got those? Evesham, Aldershot, Ilfracombe, and Orpington. 4 points available. Question 18. Who was Henry VIII's cardinal advisor, who was stripped of all powers and died in 1530? That was Cardinal Wolsey. Wolsey for the point. Then question 19. We have 5 mountains to name by sight. It looks like you've all done pretty well on this as well. First off, we had Kilimanjaro. Then we had the Matterhorn. Then Home of the Gods and or chocolate bars. It was Mount Olympus. Then Mount Vesuvius, and finally Mount Fuji. They were, for the points, Kilimanjaro, Matterhorn, Olympus, Vesuvius, and Fuji. 5 points available. And final question for round 2. We asked, what did George Stubbs like to paint? Whistle jacket was a horse. A point for horses. Well played, you all got that as well. Looking very good. Okay, wipeout round. This is going to be absolutely vital this week, I think, because I'm sure it is still exceedingly close. We have got, first off, the former Soviet Socialist Republic, the largest landlocked country in the world. It is Kazakhstan. Then, in which Japanese city was the 1998 Winter Olympics held? That was Nagano. Nagano for a point there. Wipeout question 3. Found guilty of culpable homicide for killing Reva Steenkamp by shooting through the bathroom door. That was Oscar Pistorius. Oscar Pistorius. Wipeout question 4. It is the website ending in .ch is Switzerland. This is because they had to find a framing that would be agreeable to speakers of all 4 native languages. So they went back for the Latin, and in Latin it is the Confederatio Helvetii, or Helvetic Federation, anyway. So CH Confedero Helvetica. Switzerland. Our most popular Instagram celebrity, reaching 1 million followers on September the 24th. It was not Dua Lipa, it was David Attenborough. And finishing an all-round disastrous wipeout round for, sounds a bit hippie to me, who I've wiped out not once, not twice, but 3 times, and spelled Oscar wrong. What were we saying? The organism with both male and female reproductive organs is, of course, a hermaphrodite, not an asexual. So, well played, everyone. I hope that you have met your own expectations, targets, so on and so forth. While those scores update, I have just a moment within which I can remind you that, of course, we have been supporting the Lewisham Food Bank with the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz. It's our local food bank. The recession caused by COVID is liable to continue for a while. So, if you have a little bit of spare change and you enjoy the quiz, please do consider making a donation at justgiving.com/Quizcazoatl. And if you would like to donate on our behalf to your own preferred charity or local food bank, then please do that as well. Let's see, do we have our answers in? It looks like we do. Looks like we only had the one wipeout. So, I think that I can go to the final scores, although... yeah, I can go to the final scores. So, what did we have? Well, we had a 3-point difference between all the teams after round 1. We had 2 and 2.3 point, or 2 1/3 point difference after round 2, the music round. It's a little bit wider at the end. We have 11 points, or possibly 10 5/6 of a point difference. The Midway Kings didn't wipe out, but they did have a difficult round 2. They have a very respectable score, 102.17, but they did fall off the pace. Sounds a bit hippie to me, would have been almost in it, but for not having any of the wipeout questions wrong. They're on 104. The Footlins in the lead after the music round, but with a few points dropped on round 2. They only have 106. The Proud Middling Expats, an excellent performance, notwithstanding the fact that my offensive jokes drove off their Australian contingent halfway through. 109.5. That means you are only 0.3 points behind the second place team. The top 2 teams we have the Lockdown Haircuts and the World Health Organization. In first place with 113 after a very good round 2 and a solid 8 on the wipeout. It was the World Health Organization this week. Well played, the Lockdown Haircuts. You were just beaten. If you got those extra couple of wipeout answers, you'd have been there with 109.8. Thank you very much, everyone, for playing. I am going to leave you with the rest of Baz Jones's Beatles medley. Stay safe, stay alert, wear your masks, and we will be back same time, same place next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Ta-da!
Story of a dirty man and his clinging wife doesn't understand. His son is working for the Daily Mail. It's a steady job, but he wants to be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding all you see. It's getting hard to be someone, but it all works out. It doesn't matter much to me. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Nothing is real. strawberry fields forever. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends. The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here. Lead me to your door. Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful. So are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it